Hello. With this video, I'm hoping to cover some of the information and documents that's available within SIIMS once you find the structure you're looking for. Kind of the first thing I'd like to take a look at is when you come in, once you've found a structure and selected it, the landing page you'll get to is the quick view for the structure, and you'll see that on the left-hand side, there's quite a bit of information about the structure. We tried to put the most common things folks were looking for information-wise. So you've got like the district, which is the parent asset. Sometimes that'll be a county or city, the bridge ID, and the FHWA number, and then what type of asset it is, a bridge or culvert, feature cross carried, if it's open, closed, the date it was built, the next inspection date, length, width. There's a lot of valuable information on the quick view there. At the bottom of the quick view, there's a link to the most current SINA for the structure. So if you click on that, it'll open up the SINA for this particular structure. And at the top, it'll have the bridge ID and FHWA number again, as well as the sufficiency ratings, and if it's functionally obsolete or structurally deficient. And then it's got a lot more information that's on the quick view for about the structure. It includes loading rating information, the age, traffic. There's a lot of information on the SINA. I'm not going to go into detail on everything that it contains. And you'll notice that when I clicked on that, it opened a new tab, so I'm just going to close that tab. Kind of the next thing I'd like to take a look at is the files that are available in SIIMS. And this is particular to the way the state does it. I assume the county and cities may do similar things, but there's a files tab. If you click on that, you'll see on the left-hand side there's kind of a tree structure. That's typically how I navigate through the files. There's manager files, so those are common files that are outside of any particular inspection. And then there's these reports are particular inspection reports for the structure. So if you want to see the plans for the structure, those are typically under the manager file. So if I click on the plans tree portion there, you can see the different plans that are available for this particular structure. And you can see over time, there's the original plans, and then there's the overlay projects, bridge washing, barrier rail projects. So we try to maintain all the different plans over time for the particular structure in here. So if I want to look at one of those plans that you can see kind of the blue, I'm highlighting with my finger, you click on that, and then it'll download it. You'll see on the left here, it'll have kind of like a blue circle looping around there, and this is the way it works within Chrome, and this is the browser that I recommend. And to keep us from having to wait, I've already downloaded that image, that plan. So if you look here, there's that plan set that I clicked on out of SIIMS. It opens it up in a new tab, and it's a PDF version of the plans, so you can just kind of go through and gather whatever information you need out of those plans. Kind of the next piece of information that's probably is fairly useful to folks, that's fairly commonly used, is the sketches. So if I come here and say I go to the report, this is the most recent report, I click on that, and you can see underneath that report, on the right hand side, it shows you the different information that's available. So you can see there's photos, and then there's sketches. So like if I want, just similar to the plans, I'll click on the sketches. And I've already done that for essence of time. So then you click on the sketches PDF like we did before once it downloads. And then here's the sketches for this particular bridge. So you can see that here's the legend that tells you what all the different symbols mean on within the sketches. So then if you go through here, here's the different elements of the bridge. You've got the piers in there. You've got, the abutments in there. Then you got the cross section of the bridge, which will show you like the thickness of the deck, kind of the beam layouts, and then what the measured thickness is and what the planned thickness of the deck was. And then it shows you the underside of the piers. See if we can find something that's got some actual. So you can see right here, there's like a little bit of spalling on that one corner, and that's on the top of the deck. So that's what the sketches look like. This bridge is in pretty good shape, so there's not too much to look at. Something else that's probably very, very commonly looked at is folks want to look at the photos. So they'll click on the photos. You can click on these individually to enlarge them if you want. I wouldn't recommend doing that though. The preferred method for me is to look at the photos by using this little camera. So you click on that camera, and then it's going to pop up the film strip just like that. It'll pop it up in a new tab just like the other ones did. But in the essence of time, I've already done that, so it gets loaded up for me. So here's all the images. So all I can do is I can scroll along on the left side and see all the images. And these are the photos for that single inspection that I clicked on. So this is just for one inspection. This is not every single photo for the bridge. And then once I select one, it'll be outlined in blue. And then if I come over onto the bigger picture, I can zoom in just a little bit more. So if I see that pops up, click to see original size. If I click on that, it may just take a second or two, but it should zoom in on that point within the picture. There we go. It zoomed in so I can kind of see, and then I can pan around within that structure and see kind of a zoomed in version of the photo. Then when I'm done with that, I just click it again, and it zooms right back out. So that's kind of what the photos look like. And then probably another common thing folks are interested in is like what the inspection information for this particular structure. So I came up here to the asset info tab, clicked on that, and then this grid shows all the different inspections that we've contained within SIIMS. I mean, some of these structures are have inspections that predate SIIMS, but this is what we have available within SIIMS anyway, and they're in order of the inspections are done. So like the MBI 90 dates and the inspection dates, those are the dates here. So this is the most recent inspection, was done July 22nd, 2019, and it was a routine inspection. And then if I want to see more information on that particular inspection, I click here on that little, looks like three little lines. And then I can see, I can come in here and I can click, I can view the complete PDF report, or I can go view the form view. The form view is typically what I like to look at, so I click on that because it looks like what the inspection does, and it's easier to kind of leaf through it than the PDF, but it's whichever you prefer. But you can click on those. We'll open up the individual inspection reports, and you can kind of see more detailed comments and that type of information in there. I'm not going to open that up right now. The next thing you can take a look at is if we go to edit asset values or view asset values for some folks that may not have edit permissions, that if you open that up for this particular structure, it'll open up a tab like this. Many times when you come in, it'll look something like this. So, don't worry about it. Nothing's broke. You're not missing anything. Just come up here onto the Forms button, click on that, and it'll bring the forms right back out. So then once you have the forms, you'll see kind of at the bottom, you can once again, like here's the SINA, you can go through the individual pieces of information for the bridge. So there's like, if you want to take a look at the superstructure information for this particular bridge, you can click on that tab. And here's what the information that was put in by the inspectors. The last, this is typically under edit asset values or view asset values. You have the most recent information for that structure. So that's what's available in these different forms. And what I came in here to show you was the maintenance recommendation. So this isn't something that everyone uses. I think some of the locals may use the maintenance recommendations. The state, we do use the maintenance recommendations for the structure. So if you click on that link to the form, it'll take me in and I can see that right now by default it shows is the open recommendations, and right now we don't have any open recommendations. If I come over here and I say, let's see, I want to see all the recommendations, so I can take a look at what maintenance has been done to this in the past. So I can see back on December of 07 of 2016, they did some spall patch, a major spall patch looks like, and that was completed by Larry Hargis on December 7th of 2016. And then you can also, if you want, you can click on the plus button, and that's where we can add new maintenance items that need to be done. Most of the time that's added by inspectors, but the districts may sometimes come in here and add maintenance items that they see need to be done on the structures too. The next thing I think might be of value is to take a look at the program recommendations. And this is exclusively used by the state, so I don't think locals use this at all. And when you come in here, it's got some kind of general data at the very top, which is similar information of what on the SINA and other locations. But then as you come down, kind of this grid area here, there's two separate grids, and what these two grids show is the most recent information in our project scheduling system for this structure, so that you can see we had a project that was let back in 2007, and it was HMA resurfacing. I assume that was probably for the approach pavement. And then we can go down below, and similar to maintenance, there's items here that are open for program recommendations. So right now there's nothing underneath open, so I'll go to all to see if we have any program recommendations, and there's nothing for this particular structure. But what that would be is you go underneath And the program recommendations are if we want to have contract work done on this bridge, if it's work that we know that our maintenance forces wouldn't be able to do, we can add that here. And what we do with that is that once those program recommendations get added, annually with the districts, we meet and go through all the program recommendations and kind of queue up what gets funded in each fiscal year for projects. And that's kind of, this is the beginning of that potentially, is to add those program recommendations right here. And you can also see, if there's something you think's wrong with the bridge, maybe somebody else has already come in here and noted that same problem and recommended to be programmed for repair. So that is kind of a good place to double check that. Kind of the last thing I'd like to show is that this opened up a new form when I clicked on that. So I'm going to go back to the main quick view for the structure. So this is right where we started, back at the quick view. So the next thing I want to do is, like, if you're open up a structure and you're not 100% sure you have the right one, you can show it on the map. So just click show on the map, and it'll take a few seconds, and it's going to open it up for us on the map. And then I can just kind of zoom back. I'm using the roller on my mouse to zoom back, and I can pan around to kind of get a better idea where I'm at. If I didn't mean to move that. But you can see where this structured at is on I-35 near Dow's. And then if I want, I can turn the satellite images on and see, a little bit more detailed. It uses Google Earth's imagery. So if I zoom back in on this particular structure, you can see which structure it is and kind of take a look at it. And if you say I was kind of hoping to do a little bit closer look, we have Google Earth Street View available within SIIMS. So if you click on the Street View, and it's available, like some rural locations or some very low volume roads may not have the Google Earth, but this particular one does since it's an interstate. And I can kind of take a look at this, and if I want to see it bigger, I come up here, I can toggle the full screen viewer, and I can see the entire full screen of the bridge. I can step down the roadway if I want by clicking. I can spin around and kind of look at it. And I find this very useful. It's we're kind of stuck. It's Google imagery. It's not necessarily always as new as the inspection information, but it is kind of nice to be able to jump here. So if I want to get back out of this, there's that kind of the cross back at the top, toggle full screen view. So I shut that back down, and then I'm back to where I was at. And then I can just, to get back out of this, it's just another view. I just exit that out, go right back to where I was at, and now I'm back at asset values again. And that's all I was hoping to cover in this movie. Hope you find that useful. Thank you.